What is up, y'all? Rick here again with another episode of Rick and Kids Hobby Time. This one, I found another weak spot on Kevin here, the Redcat Kaiju EXT. We're going to talk about what it is. We're going to talk about how I've fixed it, and I'll show you how. Let's get to it, y'all. Alrighty, so I've already had this problem once. This is the second time where the CVD has broken. The first time it was the CVD part just shattered. This time it was where it goes into the drive cup. So the first time I fixed it by using one of Pat's old MOJAVE CVDs. It's kind of like we originally tried to just take the armor parts and stuff them in here, but they don't work together quite like that. So you have to use the stub axle part from Redcat. Take it apart, slide the pin out. Now unfortunately, this part doesn't quite fit in. I mean, it fits, but it's a little loose. So I've got the Redcat one, or the Arma one, that fits in here. So what you have to do is somehow make it so that the CVD fits in all the way into the stub axle. And I'm going to show you how I did that here in a second. And then you're going to have to trim this down a little bit. So what we did was we used the angle grinder or a file and just flatten it down so it fits in the Redcat drive cup. Another option, if you have to take the diff out anyway, is you can put the Arma out drive cups into your Redcat diffs. I've done that on a couple of my other vehicles and they hold up really well. So yeah, we're going to move over to the vise and I'm going to show you how I made this stuff work together. Alright, so now to do this the way that I did it, and safely, which I also did, you're going to need drill, an angle grinder, and of course, safety goggles. So, yeah, now I'm going to move the camera again and show you all exactly how I did it. Okay, so for the first step, loosen up your drill and put the CV or the stub axle into the drill. Most standard drills, as far as I know, will take this axle. Alright, and now it's going to get a little loud, so I'm going to just kind of speed this part up. But what you're going to do is you're going to have the drill and you're going to spin it and just move it all around so that the two pieces mate together without any friction. That way there's no binding or anything like that. Alright, here we go. Alright, that step's done. I'm going to let this cool off for a second before I touch it, and I'll bring it back in just a second. Okay, so now the next step is we got to do a little bit of clearancing on the ball end. You don't want to take off a lot, but just enough to make it so that it'll fit into the drive cup. And again, this step is not necessary if you swap out the drive cup to the Arma one. It's going to get loud. Give me a second. Alright, so now that's done. It is a little hot. Now we're going to go back over to the truck. Okay, now at this point, I like to put the Arma little radius thingy in there. Then put the CV axle. Use the same pin that you took out of it. Get it all in there, nice and good. put this little cap back on. That keeps the pin secure, just like that. I'm going to put the bearing back on too. Just kind of keep everything together. Now, with that clearancing, you're still going to have to clearance the cup if you're using the Redcat cup. Again, this would be a lot easier if you just put Arma drive cups. However, I don't feel like taking the whole diff out. So, what we're going to do is we're going to just check it. Now, if you notice, it doesn't quite go all the way. It's not quite where we want it. So I'm going to take this back out and just swing it over. I'm going to take a drill bit, and what I've done is I've matched the other end of this to roughly how big this ball is. And I'm just going to do a little bit. It doesn't take much. Okay, now that that's all the way in, before I put the rest of it back together, what I'm going to do is I'm going to spin this front tire and make sure that the suspension doesn't move with the axle. See what it's doing? It's spinning. That's not terrible. Alright, let me put this one back in here. Alright, so it's not moving the steering, it's not making the suspension move up and down, so that's free. That's the way we want it. Now I'm going to button this back up and finish out the video. Alrighty, y'all, so that is how I have modified my Redcat Kaiju CVD axles. I do plan on doing the other two. I've got the parts on order, but I am going to wait until they break. No sense in fixing something that's not broken. In the future, I may end up changing out the drive cups for the differential. If I do that, I may make a video. Let me know down in the comments if you want to watch that or not. That's something you're interested in. And like, subscribe, share, comment, all that stuff. Check out the other modifications I've done on this rig, making this thing an absolute beast. Anyway, like, subscribe, share, comment, all that stuff. Check out some of our other videos. Thanks for watching, y'all.